Man, the slap heard around the world. What happened at the Oscars last night is probably going to end up being one of the biggest moments in television history. It's been trending on Twitter since the moment that it happened. In fact, the words Chris and Will currently are trending with over 1 million tweets. It seems like everyone has already seen what happened at the 2022 Oscars last night between Will Smith and Chris Rock, and it's probably going to be one of the biggest moments of the year already. I mean, just the magnitude of what happened last night, it's pretty much unlike anything we've ever really seen before. I mean, when was the last time you can remember during something as coveted as the Oscars, someone coming on stage and literally assaulting the person on the stage? The only other, comparable moment I can think about is when Kanye West stormed the stage and took the microphone from Taylor Swift, and even then, he didn't assault her or anything like that, right? Will Smith straight up rocked Chris Rock, no pun intended, but smacked him into next week. And now everybody's talking about it. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys, of course, what happened if you haven't seen what happened yet, or if you just kind of want to refresh on what happened. And then I kind of want to talk about some of these takes that I've been seeing going around on the internet about this, and kind of talk about everything because, well, there's been a lot of interesting takes when it comes to this whole situation. Before we get any further, I want to say if you want to support the channel in a very awesome way, make sure to check out Optimus down below. The link is in the pinned comment description. Get yourself a piece of merch. We just released LED gaming mouse pads, and we have all kinds of other products that you'd be interested in. So if you're a big fan of the channel, go ahead and check it out and consider supporting the channel with a purchase. Anyway, one of the biggest moments of the year by far. I'm going to go ahead and show pretty much the entire context of what happened. I've seen a lot of videos kind of circulating on social media that really only show the immediate moment of what happened. They don't show the full joke or anything beforehand. I kind of want to just give you guys the full context and also show you what was said afterwards.
Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. Okay. So we are here to give a documentary out, to give an Oscar out for.
So that was basically the full thing of what happened during the Oscars last night. You may have only seen the clip of Will Smith hitting him, but that joke beforehand is what actually kind of incited everything. So if you didn't know, unfortunately Jada Pinkett Smith suffers from a condition called alopecia, which is a condition that causes you to lose hair from your scalp or from other parts of your body pretty much randomly, right? So for instance, if you have alopecia, you might notice one day you wake up and big clumps of your hair start falling out of your head, right? It's a pretty sad condition to deal with. I mean, that destroys people's confidence in themselves. It is a very unfortunate thing to have to go through, right? And I actually didn't know until this all happened that she was suffering from something like this. Apparently she's made it public before, but I had not seen any sort of comments or anything about it, so it was new information to me. But that's the reason that she ended up shaving her head, and that was what the whole joke was making fun of her for. Chris Rock called her G.I. Jane to mock G.I. Joe or whatever. And everyone kind of took it well at the beginning, it seemed like. You know, there was some laughter from the crowd. Even Will Smith himself was laughing at the beginning, but Jada Pinkett Smith did not laugh at all. In fact, she was very visibly offended by the joke, and then when Will Smith kind of realized that his wife was, well, offended by it, he then went up and smacked Chris Rock open-handed across the face. Then, of course, going down to his seat again, sitting down, and repeatedly saying, "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." So first kind of thoughts on this whole thing, I don't know if there's a better way that Chris Rock really could have handled this situation, man. I mean, that's got to be embarrassing, right? Just getting completely bitch slapped on TV in front of everybody. Millions of people around the world are watching you basically get emasculated by Will Smith on TV, and dude didn't fight back, right? Like, me personally, you know, I'm not some fucking tough guy or something like that, right? But I would at least feel inclined to defend myself. Like, I feel like most men in that situation, if they got hit, they would try to fight back, right? Because he did just kind of come up there and hit him in front of everybody, right? Like, usually most men, their pride and our ego, we're not going to allow that to get through and fucking, allow ourselves to have that situation unfold. So Chris Rock is such a much better person than I would have been in that situation. I mean, he showed a pretty good amount of restraint. At first, I thought he was going to hit him back, but he ended up not doing so and just continuing the show after this as if nothing really happened. I mean, he made like a little side-handed reference and, oh, that was the best moment in TV history, but he kept his dialogue going and tried to get through it pretty much without any more interruptions or whatever. Now, on one hand, online, you have people saying, oh, Will Smith is an idol for this because, he's showing men that they need to stand up for their women. He was just defending his wife in this situation. That's what a man should do. And then you have people on the other side saying, like, hey, he committed open-hand assault and, like, nobody seems to care. Like, he didn't get arrested for it. He didn't face any In fact, he won an award later in the show. He won what I believe might have been his first Oscar, like, 40 minutes later after doing this. And these people are upset because they feel like he's not facing repercussions for assaulting a comedian for telling a joke, or I've even seen some people, like, on Twitter especially, saying that this is, like, a really good example of toxic masculinity because he felt the need to be violent over a joke and whatnot. Then there's also the camp of people who think that this whole thing was just entirely staged in order to give the Oscars better ratings and in order to basically build up a bunch of hype and excitement around the Oscars like it's a WWE match or something. And my personal opinion on this entire thing kind of really shifts depending on what Chris Rock knew and didn't know beforehand, right? So a lot of people say they don't understand why Will Smith would have gotten that angry. Personally, I do. I understand as a man why he got that angry, right? Because he felt that his wife was very insulted. At first he thought it was funny, but he saw his wife's reaction, and I guess that changed how he thought of the situation, which you can argue that that's hypocritical, but at the end of the day, I do still see why he would have been mad about it. Personally, I don't know if I would have walked up on stage and just, like, smacked the fuck out of him in front of everybody like that, but I understand why he got pretty emotionally upset about that. It makes sense. I mean, someone made fun of his wife on national television, right? But you can as easily make the argument, oh, well, if you were really that upset, then don't fucking laugh at the joke and then realize once your wife's upset that you gotta do something about it. I understand that too. At the end of the day, though, I do get why he was mad, but I really kind of don't blame Chris Rock entirely if he didn't know the situation, right? I think this is what it really depends on. Whether or not he knew that she had this alopecia and whether or not he knew that her hair loss and her hair being shaved away and everything was because of that. So, I mean, I feel like he didn't know, right? Because, like, personally, I didn't know. Then again, he is a celebrity. He works with these people and stuff like that. So, like, he's in the same circles. I don't know if he knew or not, right? I think that's what it really depends on in a way. Because if he didn't know, like, I mean, it just seemed like a little bit of a lighthearted joke. I don't think he meant it to, like, make fun of her condition, but that's if he doesn't know about it, right? I mean, if he does know that she has this condition and he's just being an asshole about it, then at that point, I feel like he's almost antagonizing Will Smith to do something. I don't think anyone expected him to come up in the middle of the Oscars and smack him like that, but at the same time, too, like, I mean, we see the clip and Will Smith is walking up to him for multiple seconds, right? And he's walking at him, I wouldn't say, like, completely aggressively, but I wouldn't say he looks very pacified, you know what I mean? Like, he definitely looks like there's some intent to something he's about to do. And Chris Rock just kind of, like, laughs and stares at him and watches him walk up to him and just smack the fuck out of him. Like, if I saw, I don't know, like, as a man, if I made a joke about another dude's wife, right? And I see bro stand up and start charging towards me in, like, this, like, mad-looking walk, I'm putting my fucking hands up or something, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting ready. I just don't know what he thought that Will Smith was coming up there to do. I don't know if he thought he was coming to talk to him about it or, like, to snatch the microphone like he was Kanye. But I mean, at the end of the day, bro, like, you watch this guy walk up to you and there's no issue, right? Now, Will Smith is actually in a little bit of trouble, it appears, with the Academy or whatever, because from what I'm seeing online, there's rumors going around that they're going to try to confiscate his Oscar that he won last night because of what he did on stage, right? Now, personally, I don't agree with this, and I don't know if this is controversial, but I don't agree with taking his award away. First and foremost, he won that award because of his critical acting in that movie, right? He earned that because of his performance. And his performance being the best isn't necessarily related to how he acted at the Oscars, right? And at the end of the day, the Oscars didn't care enough about what he did to have security escort him out of the event or for them to, like, have him arrested or something like that. They didn't care that much. But now that the reaction is somewhat favorable for Chris Rock from a lot of people, now they want to take the award back. Like, you already gave this man his award and everyone already know that he won. We all know that he's won this. It doesn't make sense to, like, retcon the event and, like, take his award back because of what happened. In my personal opinion, I just don't think that makes sense. Now, there's this take also going around, and I think it's kind of funny, but people are basically saying, like, Will Smith had the energy to go up there and hit Chris Rock for joking about his wife, but he can't go bitch slap the men who have been getting in his wife's walls for the last few years, right? Like, I mean, last year, I think it was, Jada Pinkett Smith had like this big thing with August Alsina come out where she was sleeping with him and Will Smith and her were in an open relationship. And it's pretty funny, right? Like, it's a funny comment to make, like, oh, he's got energy for, Chris Rock, but he doesn't have energy for August Alsina. Yeah, it's funny to say. It's a funny joke, but honestly, I don't know. I feel like they're both in an open relationship. From what I understand, he, like, kind of goes along with it. But, I mean, Jada Pinkett Smith has been embarrassing this man for a long time with the comments that she's made about their relationship. Let's not get it twisted. From what we've been hearing, you would have thought their relationship was on the rocks, but apparently it's strong enough for him to physically defend her. So now there's a great debate going on whether or not this was a real thing that happened, right? People are debating whether or not this was staged for viewership and everything. If you guys didn't know, Oscar viewership has been pretty abysmal in the last few years. It's been just steadily declining. So there's been a lot of debate on whether or not they would have done something like this to basically get more attention on the Oscars. And if that is the case, then it definitely worked, because this shit is like multiple trends on Twitter. Someone uploaded a video of it and it has like 22 million views on Twitter already. You know what I mean? It's gone completely viral. People are talking about it left, right, and center, which is pretty impressive, because if they did fake this for viewership and, try to get this for attention, then it really did work for them. And at that rate, man, like, it's low-key impressive that they pulled that off. Like, that was kind of like a WWE moment. And I know I said that earlier in the video, but if you're watching, like, SmackDown Raw or something like that, you expect for someone to come on stage and smack the fuck out of the other one. You don't expect that during the Oscars, which is supposed to be like, this prestigious award show. Now, there is some very suggestive evidence that this was faked. First and foremost, the security reaction. That's a pretty big reason people are using to say it was staged. Because obviously, in most circumstances, you would think security or the police would come and escort Will Smith away and charge him for assault or something like that. Because, I mean, he did assault Chris Rock on stage. Just because you're a celebrity, you're not supposed to be above the law. That's what people are saying, right? But if this was all staged, then yeah, Will Smith wouldn't really be charged or really reprimanded at all. Which by the end of it all, he really didn't. And honestly, it does make sense to try and fake something like this for viewership, especially if it's been steadily declining for so long. And one of the other reasons that people have been suggesting is because, well, like I said earlier, right? Jada Pinkett Smith has been embarrassing Will Smith in public for years. She's been telling people things that should not be getting told about their relationship, if we're being honest, and people have made fun of Will Smith for so long because of this, basically calling him like a simp or a beta male because his girlfriend's getting banged by all these other people. Not even his girlfriend, his wife. So people are saying basically that it would have been staged really well for Will Smith to do this because when he goes up on stage and hits him like that, he reclaims some of his masculinity or whatever, right? I don't totally know about that. I mean, it makes sense, but at the end of the day, really seems like a big risk / liability for the Oscars to do something like that. Because if you think about it, the public reaction could have went completely different. They could have been like, fuck the Oscars, I'm never watching this again, it's violent. People are getting struck out now and shit. Like, people, some people don't want to see that kind of stuff. And they really could have had a pretty big risk with that, The risk versus the reward was pretty massive on both ends. Because if you fake this for views and people don't like it, then you've basically just pissed a bunch of people off. But if you, fake it and then people talk about it like they did, you got viewership for 2 or 3 more years now, just people hoping that they can see another one of these kinds of moments. I guess we'll really know if the Oscars next year decide to have, I don't know, Elon Musk smack Kanye West or something like that, right? So with that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about the Oscars and signing out.